Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Integration Ninjas. In today's video, we are going to dive into the world of serverless computing and explore how to create and deploy AWS Lambda functions using Java. Whether you are a seasoned developer or just getting started with AWS, this video will give you through the process of building, deploying and automating your Lambda functions with the help of GitHub Actions. So let's understand first what is AWS Lambda. It's quite familiar, but let's see what it is. AWS Lambda is a serverless event-driven compute service that lets you run your code for virtually any type of application or backend service without provisioning or managing servers. It means you don't need any resources, you don't need to manage any resources. AWS will take care of it. It is designed to execute code in response to create a various events such as changes to the data in S3 bucket, HTTP request to Amazon API gateway, and many more things. There are few key features of it, like this is the event-driven execution. You define what events trigger the execution of your function. When an event occurs, AWS Lambda automatically runs your code. It is a serverless. It means you don't need to worry about server provisioning, maintenance or scaling. AWS take care of infrastructure. So just you can mainly focus on your core development, and it supports multiple languages like Java, Python, C and many more Golang and JavaScript, anything. And it supports microservices as well. Lambda is often used for building microservices. You can create small independent functions that perform specific tasks and easily combine them to build a larger application. And it also is a very good feature. It's pay as you go pricing. It will be not charged for when your code is the Lambda function is being idle. You will not be charged for that. You will be only charged when you will be consuming that. As simple as that. It integrates with other AWS services like S3 and all, and security and IAM management. They can you can control who can invoke that Lambda function. So it's a very good feature. And monitoring and logging, we can use CloudWatch for the monitoring the logs metrics and X-ray for the tracing. So overall it's a good feature provided by this. So there is many more about AWS Lambda. So let's explore. By this end of this video, you will have solid understanding of how to create, deploy and automate AWS Lambda functions with Java, all thanks to power of GitHub Actions. Now, so let's get started on this exciting journey to the world of AWS Lambda and Java using GitHub Actions. So what we are going to do as part of this video is we will be setting up a Java project. I have a simple Java project which is just convert a string, it will reverse the string hello. It will just reverse out the characters, nothing else. We will just keep it very simple and we'll automate it. We will create the Lambda function automatically and we will deploy it. So first of all, we will create a workflow file as usual. We'll set up the build environment, we can set up the Java in the system, and whatever the runner we are going to use, we will set up the Java 17 there. Since my project will be on Java 17, I will build that project with maven, and after that I will configure my AWS credentials, and then I will create the Lambda function by creating a IAM role, where I will add the policies to the IAM role to create and execute the Lambda function. And if the function is already created, I will update it for the further enhancement to trigger or any update. So let's go through it. What we will do, let me go to the GitHub repo. This is my repository. So I will just go through the code once. It's a very simple code. We have a package here as integration.ninjas, and inside that we have handler string method. This is a maven project, and I have added a dependency for AWS Lambda, which is AWS Lambda Java code. This we need to add inside our code to invoke this particular interface. So we have implemented this interface in our class request handler, which is provided by this AWS and AWS Lambda. You can see the imports. So this function, we are overriding a function like handle request method, and we are accepting a input, whatever the input, like suppose we are accepting a input as string, and we are just reversing it, and we are adding some logs so we can monitor those as well in the AWS CloudWatch. It's very simple. So let's get started. We are going to write the workflow file. Okay, so how to start it? We are going to add file. I just like to create workflow file right here on this GitHub. It's very easy actually. Okay, so the workflow file remains inside .github and workflows, and here we have our CI/CD.yml. So let's write what is the name of our workflow. It's AWS Lambda CI/CD. Okay, before that, let's do one thing. Let's create a IAM role. I have already created. I will show you what you need to do. So we don't need to set up that again. We will just write that. So once you have to reach to the IAM console, then you click on the roles here, and here you click create a role, where you can just add your role and click on the next. You choose a service for Lambda. It will be used. I have already created it, but I will show you what permissions you can add is AWS Lambda. You can add this one, and another one is CloudWatch. Yeah, Amazon CloudWatch evidence. Yeah, there are many actually. AWS CloudWatch. So early access, full access permission. Yeah, we need this one. AWS ClutchWar IAM full access. Yeah. So once you add all those, you just need to create it. I have already created it, so I will use that. I will show you what is that role is Lambda EX. I have already created this. I will use this. So you can use this AWS Lambda full access and CloudWatch logs full access. So it will create the log stream and everything there. So you need to add these two in your IAM role. That's it. And you need to use this IAM role while creating the Lambda function. So there are many ways you can create your Lambda function. One is straightforward. You can do from the AWS, the classic UI. So simply you click on the create function and author from scratch, and you add your function name and set up the runtime environment, Java 17 and x64. This is all is needed, and you just create a function. That's it. And then inside you can update the configuration, and you can upload the jar file there. But for the first time, we are going to use the AWS CLI command. This is the one, AWS Lambda create function, and the function name, and then the zip file, the jar file location will add, and will give the path of our Lambda function, and will give the runtime environment, and will give our AWS ID and the Lambda execution role that we have created. Okay, it's pretty good. Now let's get started. That's it, we need to do. It's very simple. So let's start it. When this event should trigger on the push events, obviously on push and branches will be the main branch. I want to build trigger on the main branch. So after this, we'll have a jobs. We need to add jobs after defining on the event. We'll trigger a job name, build and deploy. All right, which will be running on. I will run it on Ubuntu latest, which is provided by GitHub. You can add your self-hosted runner if you want, but I will go through the Ubuntu latest since it has everything like maven, Java and everything. And AWS CLI is also installed there. It is limited to use, but we can use it. And I will define some steps here. First step is to check out the code. So let's write it out, code checkout. Not like this. Steps and name is this one. And after that, we'll use the actions provided by GitHub to check out the code. Actions checkout version 3. This is provided by GitHub. And after that, we are going to set up the Java configuration. Let's do this setup Java. In most of the Ubuntu runners, they have Java 11, but our project is built on the Java 17. So I will just configure it with the action provided by GitHub. I will use this section. We can see this section is setup-java GitHub Action. And we'll go to this documentation and we'll see how they are integrating it. It's straightforward. We can use this. Actions checkout version 3 and distribution this and everything. Okay, so let's use this. All right. There is some mistake actually is. It should not be. Yeah, no, it's correct. And this width also should be here. Indentation matters in the YAML files, otherwise it will give the errors. Okay, so we are setting up the Tamarind Java 17. And after that, what we are going to do is we are going to build our project. So what we will do is we will run a command here, mvn clean install. Okay, so once the build is completed, we will have a jar file. Now we have a very important step. Before creating the Lambda function, we need to configure our AWS environment, or we need to log in into the AWS configure. So what we will do is we will use the action provided by AWS. It's very easy to use. Let's see how we can use it. Configure AWS credentials. Let's search this on Google. They have action provided, configure AWS GitHub Action, which is provided by AWS Actions. So we'll use that one. Okay, it is used to configure your AWS environment and the region. So we can use this in the GitHub Action. So we don't need to log in directly. It will take care of this. This particular action is very useful. So let's see how they are configuring it. We need to provide these informations. Yes, we have to provide the AWS access key and secret key somewhere. Yeah. Yes, like this we have to use it. We have to use AWS access key and the secret ID and the region here. So let's use this. I have not used the version 4 yet, so I will go through the version 3. I have used it recently. With that, we can use this AWS Action, configure AWS credentials at the rate version 3, and this action is accepting these parameters, so these are necessary to provide. And AWS region, I have AWS region is like EU North 1, so I will update that. And another thing is here is we need to provide AWS access key ID and AWS secret access key. So how we will do that? Okay, so let's see that AWS access key ID. So we have to provide this information in the AWS secrets. So since this information is secret, so I am not revealing it. I will just show you how you can add that. Go to the Actions tab, go to the Security tab, and there you can see the Secrets and Variables section. There you select the Actions, and you will be able to see the Action, Secrets and Variables tab there. Just Secrets section, and just click on Use Repository Secret. You can see I have added these variables here. So I am going to use right away these things, because I don't want to reveal my secret key and the access key. I have used this. I will show you how you can create it. You just need to click on the repository secret. So I am going to create one. Here is AWS access key, AWS test key, random value, add secret, and that's it. So you can access the secret key like this here, secrets.aws test key, but I'm not going to use that. So I'm going to use this one right away here. After that, this process, what we are going to do is we are going to create the Lambda function, create AWS Lambda function. So what we are going to do here is we are going to run a command which we have seen here. Let's copy it out and we'll update it accordingly. Okay. So AWS Lambda create function and function name. So here we need to provide the function name, which is, my function name is handler string suppose. So you can see like my class name is this one. So I'm giving the function name as handler string. You can give any function name. I'm just giving this name here. And after that, I will prefer to add the runtime as Java 17. Suppose right away here. Yeah, not like that. I prefer to give after this line by line runtime Node.js, but here it will be Java 17. Alright, after this, I need to provide the path also, like this one, handler method path. Here they have given the handler index.handler, but in our case, it will be the package name, since the endpoint will be this method, the package name integration.ninjas. And after that, we will have the function in the class name here. This is the path of our code, right? And after that, we have method as handle request. So this is the path of our handler method. So we have given this path, right? Now what we have to give is we have to give this role. Let's give this role right here is role AWS IM. So I need to provide here the user ID and the role IM role is lambda -es. So that is fine. Here I need to update my IM user ID. So let me find and update that accordingly. So let me go to my IM users. Let's go to users. Yeah, we can see the ID here is where it was right there. Yes, here, this one. 763. Yeah. So I will update this, and once this is done, we need to provide the file path. Okay. So we are going to update that file B and function.zip. So in our case, the file will be when we build the project, where we get the jar file is inside the target folder, and inside target folder we have this file name, right? So we will just copy this file name and add the file location as target target / lambda basic 1.0 dash snapshot.jar. That's it. And yeah, okay, so this will create the lambda function, right? So now we have to update the lambda function. If it is already created, we can update the lambda function as well. Update lambda function. So we will write that code as well. So if we make any changes in our code, that will be updated. Okay. So yeah, we can do that. So for update also, we have a similar command here, update the function. You can see after you create a function, you can configure additional capabilities for the function such as trigger, network access, and file system access. So these things we can do. So we can just use this command, AWS Lambda update function. Similarly here, and we'll use the run command as usual. We can AWS Lambda function configuration. Yeah, this is correct. No, but we have to update the code here actually. We will just update the code, not the configuration. So we are going to use the different one, AWS Lambda update function code. And after that, we will just provide the function name, which will be the integration, not integration ninja. Function name will be the handler string. Correct. All right. And after that, the memory, it will be assigned automatically. And we need to provide the zip file path right here, which we have added. There is we will just cross verify the command what we are using in the AWS as well, like function name, handler string, the zip file. Let's cross verify, update code, update AWS Lambda code, because we just need to update the code, update function code. We can see this CLI command here, update function code, function name, value, zip file. Okay, all right. Yeah, so that's it, and we are done. So one thing here is, if we run this command and want to update the code multiple times, if the function already exists, then we will run into the problem that function already exists and the code will not be updated, since it will break on this particular flow. So what we can do here is we can just add one line that we can make it run as continue on error as true. That we can do. Okay, so yeah, I think if but just I need to verify if this is the correct command or not. I can check workflow syntax for GitHub Actions. Yeah, this one continue on error. Okay. Okay, this is the correct one. Let's see this. If this is working, we'll just commit this changes. Deploy function to AWS Lambda. Deploy code to AWS Lambda. Let's see if it runs perfectly or not. We can see the processes are running. The build is in progress. Okay. Okay, there is some error is okay. I think there is some issue with that source option 5. Okay. I have updated in that my another branch. Let me just update that. The Maven compiler plugin is like very older one. Here is okay, not this one actually. I need to update the pom.xml because if you see the compiler plugin I'm using is 1.5 and it is expecting like if we're using the Java 17 it should be the greater one. We can directly see in the logs here, so this also we need to take care of. So let's commit that and we'll see what happens. So the error is we are using the source plugin as 5, so let's do this. Okay, let's go to the terminal, git pull. All right, and here CI not in the CI/CD. We need to update in the pom.xml. Right here we will update this, and we are going to just commit these changes, and we'll see the workflow again. Will be green for sure. Commit directory. Update maven compiler. I hope this time it runs perfectly. Yeah, this issue comes when you develop these things. Okay, this is pushed now. Yeah, this is running. Okay, setup Java is completed. The build is in progress. Let's see if it is success or not. Okay, everything is working. The create is in. Okay, the Lambda function is created. Okay, so everything is created. Now let's see if it is our Lambda function is created or not. Let's see this. We have come to the AWS Lambda console. Okay, the function is created just before 90 seconds. Wow, is good. Okay, now we can see the code also. So let's try to test this if our function is working or not. We can just pass one string, hello integration ninjas, and what it will do is it will just reverse it, nothing else. But we can do, yeah, so it works very well, right? So now if you want to see the logs, right, so just click on the logs and you will be able to see your lambda function logs as well. So you can monitor it perfectly. You can see the live logs, what is the function. So, and if any complex logic, if there is any issue, you can monitor it perfectly with the help of CloudWatch. So a stream is created, log stream is created, and if you see, like, I have added few logs here. So let's hit it once again and see the logs are coming or not. Okay, here I will just click on test here and we'll see the logs will be coming. In the last 1 minute, I will see, yeah, these logs has come. And in the last 30 minutes, there are these logs. So the logs are coming. Okay. This is very cool, right? So this is the easiest way you can integrate it. You can set up a pipeline for creating and deploying your Lambda function. If you redeploy it, it will work perfectly. Yeah. So this is very good feature from the GitHub Actions. You can automate everything. So if you like my video, I will go through the other AWS Lambda scenarios as well, where we can create the microservices architecture as well. So if you like my video, please like it, subscribe it, and share amongst your friends and your colleagues. Thank you. Have a good day.